Even before that, I had two other ventures. I started my first venture back in 2004. 8 months uh, traveling within Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia,
Wow.
Malaysia. Another alternative to doing an MBA could be finding communities. I was basically before that, I was jobless for a few months because I was looking for the perfect job, which didn't exist.
Well, hello, hello, hello! Look who's back! And of course, with a bang! Hi everybody, my name is Megha and I welcome you all to a Gone Case. आज हमारे साथ जो अपनी स्टोरी शेयर करने आ रहे हैं ना, ही इज मिस्टर मयूर और उन्होंने अपनी लाइफ में जो चेक बॉक्सेस टिक कर रखे हैं, इट्स जस्ट ड्रीमी हाँ. I mean, having had a job that lets you travel anytime, anywhere, anyhow. Check. Being your own boss? Check. Having more than one ventures? Check. And one of them being a co-living, co-working space in Goa where he hosts a number of people from different walks of life. Organize events, have fun, network, work and what not. I mean, check, check, check. So what are you guys waiting for now? Come check.
Hello, sir. Welcome to a Gone Case. How are you?
Good, good, good. I am gone case since last 35 years.
I'm,
So it's good to be on the show.
I'm so glad to hear that. I'm just trying to find all the Gone Cases I can, and then we'll say this is the new norm. Follow it. Yeah, but you
Yeah,
cannot follow.
I think gone cases should be the new normal. Now
Yes,
that we have been hearing the term new normal all the time.
true. So true. So let's see how this trying goes. So, okay. So, sir, can you start with your introduction like the way you like, the way you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, so Mayur is an explorer, is a nomad.
Okay.
And by explorer and by nomad, I don't just talk about traveling part of it. I like to explore new things, do new things. I've changed my careers 3 times, 4 times so far in last 12 years. Um, that's about me. So uh, I don't print my visiting cards because it keeps changing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So अगर मयूर के बारे में जानना है तो आई थिंक आई शुड स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग्स सो आई एम फ्रॉम कोल्हापुर कोल्हापुर महाराष्ट्र में एक छोटा सा टाउन है आई मीन इट्स अ सिटी एंड डिस्ट्रिक्ट बट it still has this small town village feel to it, very rustic and very down to earth feel. So I grew up there. I spent 22 years of my life in Kolhapur.
Okay.
um, I did not, when I was growing up, I did not expect myself to venture out. I was curious about things happening in the world, but then I'm talking about, so I was born in 1985. So I'm talking about the pre-internet era,
Right.
the first few years of my teenage. So I wanted to explore the world, but I didn't know how to go about it. I think that built this uh, interest in travel for me. And because I grew up in a humble background, with a humble background, I felt I did not have enough resources to travel when I was growing up. So I said, okay, I want to live a life where I travel and I explore the world, and um, I can keep doing it while working and while earning money. So I think the seeds of the nomad in me, the traveler in me, were sown long ago.
Right. तो जैसे कि आई नो अबाउट यू कि आपके 3 वेंचर्स हैं. So you started Remote Explorers, you started Nomad Gao, and now you're working on program Panchayat as well. तो
Yeah.
ये सारे वेंचर्स की स्टार्टिंग कैसे हुई? लाइक डिड यू प्लान समथिंग या कुछ ग्रेजुअल हुआ? सो आई वांट टू नो कि कैसे ये तीनों चीजें शुरू हुई आपकी लाइफ में.
So even before that, I had two other ventures. I started my first venture back in 2004. So हम basically पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज और छोटे बिजनेसेस उनके लिए टी शर्ट प्रिंट करके देते थे.
Okay.
Because back then there was nobody who could customize things, customize t-shirts, mugs, uh, but then we did not scale it up because we did not have that vision, and because we had not ventured out of Kolhapur, so we did
Hmm.
not know how big the market is. And
Hmm.
वो normal जो होता है ना कि यार अभी थोड़ा करियर के ऊपर ध्यान दो, पढ़ाई करो थोड़ा, फिर आगे जाके कुछ हो जाएगा लाइफ में. uh, so then we did not scale it up. Back in 2008, I started a e-learning venture with my friends. Um, and I'm talking about e-learning when Byju's or Coursera or Unacademy,
Hmm.
nobody was around.
Okay.
Uh, but then even the internet was not around. Geo was not there. So we were on dial-up connection trying to build a e-learning company, and that did not obviously work out because of uh, technology reasons and infrastructure issues. So I think you know uh, I always wanted to do something of my own, uh, not because I hate people, I hate bosses, but as I said, I am an explorer, and I felt okay. The only way I can explore something is by starting something of my own. And I come from a family business background, so we had a family business. So I was always fascinated while talking to customers, knowing about products and so on. Um, so I think remote explorers came much later. I was in okay. I should hide my face, but I was in corporate job for a few years before that happened. Um, So I spent 3 years in Mumbai uh, working for a company. It was a good learning experience. I felt that it was great. And then जो normal होता है यार कोई और 30% हाइक दे रहा है तो क्यों ना हम जॉब चेंज करें.
Right.
And that's how I shifted to Bangalore. And I was working for an outsourcing company. So in outsourcing, basically whatever the client says is the final word, no matter whether it is right or wrong. And I really could not see myself, uh, flourishing in that environment because I'm like, okay, this is right, this is wrong, and I'm basically, black or white person. I don't like to uh, try to gel up with something that client says.
Hmm.
Uh, so I was looking for a change, another change within 6 months. Uh, and then, a recruiter called me saying that, okay, there is a work from home opportunity. And that was back in 2014. There was no Corona, there was no COVID.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, I did not know anybody who worked from home, especially in finance. I was not even a tech guy. Um, so I said, okay, this sounds interesting. This sounds something like I would like to do. And this sounds something like a thing that will give me a chance to travel and explore. Um, so I took up that job on a pay cut. They were offering me less money, but I said, okay,
Okay.
I don't care about money. By that time, I was, done with the corporate, you know, uh, normal way of living. In fact, I wrote an article few years ago about how, getting a remote job helped me redefine my goals and dreams.
Hmm.
Because normally what happens is, you have this dream that, okay, you'll do a job, make a money, save a lot of money out of it, and then uh, buy a house, buy a car, get married, have kids.
A
And
cycle.
it's a cycle that, that keeps a lot of us bound to what we are doing, even if we are not happy doing it. Um, so I said, okay, I don't want to live that way. So I took up a remote job. Um, and then I started traveling. Uh, I spent a couple of years traveling within India, explored Kerala, Himachal, stayed in Himachal for a year. And while doing that, I felt like, okay, I'm in the right place now. So let me just venture out and uh, see the other places, explore other cultures. So back in 2016, I moved to Thailand. Spent 8 months uh, traveling within Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia,
Wow.
Malaysia, uh, and living at different places, trying to learn the language, and uh, you know, it was great because I could connect with the true Mayur. Uh, the true Mayur is an explorer and
Hmm.
nomad, as I said.
Hmm.
Uh, then when I came back, I realized that okay, India is a great place for people who work remotely because there is diversity in food, in cultures, in landscapes. But India is not very popular among digital nomads.
Hmm.
So, digital nomads is a vague term used for people who work remotely on their laptops and travel the world. So I said, okay, let me see if I can do something to make India popular for digital nomads. So I started Remote Explorers. We ran retreats for digital nomads. So what we did was we gathered a bunch of strangers, made them spend a month with each other. This is not Big Boss. Um,
Doesn't sound like it. Yeah.
yeah, and then during the day they used to work. In the morning we used to do yoga together. In the evening we used to arrange workshops. On weekends we used to arrange excursions. So it was great, uh, you know, way of living together, make new friends, collaborate, make connections. Um, but while doing that, I felt that I really needed a space of my own to be able to do it.
Hmm.
And okay, in between, I got married. Uh,
Okay.
right after I started Remote Explorers,
Okay.
uh, not to get back to the conventional way of living,
Hmm.
um, but to have a partner in crime. Uh,
Sounds about right.
yeah. So me and Joy is my wife.
Okay.
When we decided to move to Goa last year, we said, okay, let's start a space where we can, keep doing what we love to do and build a community, get people together, help them have great experience without having to, worry about how can they get things done. So that's how Nomad Gao was born last year. We opened our space in August 2019,
Okay.
just a few months before
Good.
COVID.
Yeah.
Uh, so we have a co-working, co-living place in Asaka where people come stay for a month, 2, 3. They work from our co-working space. They eat home-cooked food in our, small kitchen, made in small kitchen by Sheila, and we go to the beach once in a while. In the evenings, we arrange events. So tomorrow is karaoke night. Saturday is game night. Uh, so we started this before COVID, and then the lockdown started in March. And the first month of lockdown, I was super lazy. I was like, okay, this is freedom. I'm not doing anything. I cannot do anything even if I want to do.
Hmm.
So let me just chill out. So I spent 1 month being lazy and acting like a 80-year-old. But then I felt okay. Now my mini retirement is over.
Okay.
Let me start thinking about what's next. Uh, so now that a lot of people are working from home, uh, I felt that it is a great opportunity for you know uh, for our country to grow, reduce the inequality, because there are a lot of people who want to do good things,
Hmm.
who want to contribute towards society, but they can't do that because they're bound to office. They're sitting in Mumbai, going to office and having to come back from office, and weekends go in feeling tired after traveling all the week to office and back. Um, so now is a great opportunity for people to actually be wherever they want to be and do whatever they want to do while doing their work, while making sure that they don't lose their job.
Hmm.
Uh, so Program Panchayat came across. So Program Panchayat is an initiative where you know uh, we take volunteers who want to do good work, who want to do something more than their job, and uh, you know filling their own pockets, uh, and who have the flexibility to work from anywhere. So
Hmm.
these people can actually stay in a village, spend 2 to 3 months educating the locals, learning from them about where their food comes from. Nowadays, if you ask kids, they say, okay, the food comes from supermarket, right? So, so the idea is to, try to bridge the gap. We are still working on it. It's a huge project. Uh, I'm still, gathering the team. So if anybody listening to this finds it exciting or interesting and who want to contribute, please get in touch with me. Mm, I'd be happy to chat more about that with you. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it
that's been
sounds
a journey.
hell of a journey. It sounds so amazing. I want to go a bit back. So, two questions. First of all, जब आपने ये venture शुरू करे, so were you pursuing your full-time job पूरे time या like you were waiting for the ventures to set up properly? Yeah, you were doing this individually. Remote work इतना prominent नहीं है, and the ventures that you are into वो somehow related to remote work. So, how was the response and the support around you when you decided to leave your conventional life और आपने ये सब explore करना और start करना शुरू किया?
Okay, so the first question, uh, I had during Remote Explorers or Nomad Gao, I had my full-time job.
Okay.
Uh, my manager was supportive. In fact, he was like, do whatever you want to do, and as long as you are doing your job properly. I was building and managing remote teams, um, and my team was supportive. Uh, they were like, okay, whatever you are doing is great, so keep on doing it, never change. Uh, Even if you're our manager, it just feels great to see you doing all of this. Uh, and then my family was super supportive. Even when I took up a remote job uh, and moved back to my hometown to save money for few days,
Hmm.
few months, my parents were like, "Okay, it's great that you're doing this." Then because I was at home, there some relatives used to come and say ask them whether I have a job or I left my job and stuff, because nobody could understand the remote work back then. They used to make sure that I don't get disturbed with unnecessary questions and I keep on doing my work. So yeah, in terms of support, I'm lucky to have so much support. Uh, First, getting into remote work and then spreading remote work and lifestyle to others.
Right. Okay, that's super nice. So, मयूर मैंने आपके एक blog में पढ़ा था कि you were thinking of doing an MBA, but then you went other ways and you started exploring and stuff. So आपके पास अब 3 ventures हैं. So what do you now say about pursuing an MBA? Because आप एक legit proper सही इंसान हो जो इस बारे में बता सकते हो. So now to your younger self, the Mayur who was confused कि MBA करूँ या ना करूँ, what would you like to say?
Okay, so I think uh, I won't say doing an MBA is essentially bad. You just need to have right reasons for it, right? So, for example, if your sole reason is to get a high-paying job, uh, like there are other things to do in life which will give you a high-paying job. Uh, you need to be clear about why you're doing MBA. So when I was planning to do an MBA, I was clear that okay, I want to get into consulting because uh, I wanted to, uh, build businesses, help businesses to grow. Uh, and then I thought to myself, okay, I can do this for myself. Why do I need to do this for someone else? Right? So I think a lot of us choose MBA because it's a safe option to try new things. Uh, at least, if you're aiming for top schools, it's a safe option to explore. But I feel that now that I've started ventures, I feel that the best way you can grow is by starting your own venture.
Hmm.
Then another benefit of MBA is the networking, right? You meet
Right.
people
Hmm.
from various backgrounds and uh, doing different things with different goals and different aspirations. So that is something that adds value to the MBA.
Right.
So the way I see MBA is it's a exclusive club, nothing else. In terms of content, course content, there is nothing much to learn. But in terms of networking or in terms of soft skills, there is a lot to learn. Now the networking part, uh, that also got solved because when I started traveling, I met people from different backgrounds,
Hmm.
doing different things. So there was no reason left to do an MBA, right? And
Right.
then now that I'm running Nomad Gao, uh, if you come here, you get to meet people. So right now we have one poet, one mountaineer, a scuba diver, a couple of programmers, couple of blockchain specialists staying and working from here. So, not because it's my business. I feel that, you know, another alternative to doing an MBA could be finding communities, finding groups of people
Hmm.
you can learn from and who can help us to help you to grow. So I think it's all about community, finding the right community.
Okay, that's a very good answer. सारे perspectives cover करते हैं. Okay, so now since आपने इतनी लंबी journey cover करी है, so I'm sure कि जब आप venture भी शुरू कर रहे थे या और भी journey के जो part थे, there might be some struggles. So what do you remember as the struggles that shaped you to who you are today and that you remember overcoming?
Um, a lot actually. Without struggles, it's not fun.
Hmm.
So just after I took the remote job, I went through a divorce. That was back in 2014. Uh, and that was a big struggle. I spent a few months struggling with myself and you know trying to figure out what was going on, and uh, that sort of shaped the you know I would say I became a digital nomad because of that, because on the other side of things was a freedom, and I could be anywhere I wanted to be, and I was like, okay, let's do this. uh, then when I started, I planned to start Nomad Gao. um, I was basically, before that, I was jobless for a few months because I was looking for the perfect job, which didn't exist. Uh, and I didn't have much of savings. Uh, so I used to freelance for like 14, 16 hours a day just to make money so that I can invest here.
Okay.
Uh, there were struggles and there would be struggles that will shape the entrepreneur and explorer in you. Without struggles, life seems too boring.
Yeah, and sometimes you find yourself in the struggles, as you said. That's nice. So, maybe जैसे ये remote working plus traveling plus exploring बहुत सारे लोग करना चाहते हैं. But एक जैसे आपने बोला कि MBA का alternative ये भी है, you start your own venture and you start experiencing things. But there is an uncertainty in everything that you do if you are away from security. that is why I think conventional things are more common. So how do you overcome वो uncertainty वाला part की what next, what if this doesn't work, like जैसे आपने बोला कि nomad गाँव के पहले you were finding a perfect job but then you freelanced your way out. So how do you tackle that uncertainty वाला part?
I think the way I look at it is when you do a venture, you become a better person, better professional. You learn a lot of new things. So even if this doesn't work out, uh, I can always go back to the job market, worst case, as someone who was better skilled than the Mayur in 2019. And I feel, yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so how I end this generally is I have a few blanks. So I'll say a line, I'll say a blank. Whatever comes to your mind first, you fill it with it. Anything, an idea, an event, a person, anything. Yeah? So I'll just... Okay. Dash is the driving force of your life.
Me,
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Dash troubles you the most.
mosquitoes,
Okay. One characteristic you would wish for every person to have.
niceness.
Niceness. Yeah. Okay. Dash makes you the happiest. Last.
Oh, a lot of things. I can see a lot of things. I'm just happy person, everything makes me happy.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, good food.
Okay. Okay. So that was really fun. And thank you for being yourself and sharing yourself with us. And thank you everybody for watching this. मैं मयूर के सारे links नीचे description में डाल दूंगी. Please go check out the podcast. I've heard the podcast on remote explorers. They're really nice. I mean, hearing it for people who are
My
doing
pleasure.
it, it's the best thing that you can have. And also the program Panchayat. I hope it comes to life super soon, and maybe I'm there someday. But yeah, and Nomad Gao, I've seen the pictures. It's really nice. And somebody who's been there, they are in love with the and with the place. So yeah, that's super cool.
My pleasure to be here on the show, Mega.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you, thank you.
It's good to meet a fellow gone case.
Hey guys, I invite you to share your story because every single story is special. You can connect with me with the details in the description box below. Bye.